All right, guys, I'll let you fire your questions.
I guess first of all, Bridgewater, what are the changes we're going to see in him this year as far as
Well, he's 40 pounds heavier than what he was when he came in here, and he's done a great job. He's taken it hard, increasing his durability, strength, and his durability, and that durability is kind of the size. He's a totally different looking player, different, but he has not lost anything. He's as fast, if not faster, than what he was.
You said 40 pounds?
40 pounds since he came in, so he's grown quite a bit.
Have you ever had a quarterback go through that?
It's not that much, but probably tell you, he had a long way to go. He's a skinny dude, so yeah, he's done a really remarkable job away from him. Coach Moore has done a great job with him and got him to believe in that.
He and the offense just made such great, consistent strides throughout the last year. Can you pick up that each one of you kind of back up and start?
We have to pick up that point. We have to pick up where we left off. I thought as the season ended, everyone began to develop a chemistry and an attitude about their business. And there was an expectation to start. And a lot of that had to do with moving the transition, with younger players playing, them getting acquainted with and familiar with what we do and how we do what we do. And then once they felt the fit, it's like there's an old term in education that says when the student's ready, the teacher will appear, and that kind of happened. So it was a rewarding experience as a coach because I think all of us, I had the most fun coaching I ever had last year, and it was in the midst of just really what those kids gave us. I mean, they really came to work every day, competed, and as a result, we got better, and they're really hungry right now. They know there's so much more out there for us to do.
what do you expect out of Bridgewater?
Well, the thing I want to see out of Teddy is you get to see it in the spring game, him manage the game. Manage situational football, normal downs, understanding that it's about finding completions. Same thing in 2-minute offense, red zone offense, the different aspects of football that a quarterback gets into. He's got to manage those things. The run game, we put so much on him in the run game, and he's grown with all those things. He's very confident in that right now.
That's offensive line.
Yeah, last year we were trying to figure out 5, much less who the 2 deep was going to be. So this year we have competition and we have depth. Younger players are making the older players better, and we have Pat's done so much of what happens in the offensive line goes back to the strength coach. Pat Moore's done an unbelievable job of developing those kids. We look like division football team should look when we were doing the teaching. And they've developed themselves, and Dave Morbley, he's the best in the business. He's done a great job developing those kids. They're beyond their years because of the way he develops them and the teacher that he is. So, we've got to go out there and continue to improve them. I mean, that's the biggest thing. The biggest improvement we'll make is the communication aspect of it. Get everybody on the same page, which right now I feel really good about because if you come to practice and you stand back where I stand and watch the whole offense, the thing that I love the most about what's going on is the communication. It sounds like a football team that's on a mission. It sounds like we're calling off the foundations, and we're making line calls, and we sound like a big time football team is supposed to. So it's been a good thing.
Last year there were freshmen, and Morley probably did the best job of all you guys in terms of getting something out of nothing. But still, you still have 3 sophomores on the offensive line. It seems like that's still a big challenge even this year. What are you all doing that you're doing differently than last year?
Well, we keep coaching them hard. One thing you're going to get from this staff is a consistent message, and you're going to get coached hard every day. And what happens to those players in their development in the program, they start embracing that message. I mean, they start looking for it. They want it, in other words. So the biggest thing we have to do is stay consistent. We have to keep the heat on and keep the pressure on and keep developing them. We're joking, come out the field today, our veteran sophomores, because that's what we are. the thing about sophomores, you know, I had a coach I worked for, Gary Barnett, used to have a saying that the toughest year is the sophomore year because they no longer need you. They've got the answers now, so you got to ride that wave. But the beautiful thing is a consistent message here. I mean, they get coached hard every day, the same message, the same expectation, and the nice thing about it, their character, the whole group, they want to please. They want to meet that expectation.
How much of it for the coaching staff is that a concern? You had guys coming in as freshmen playing a lot of time last year with not many expectations. This year they're sophomores. They don't need you, but they have those expectations.
Yeah, well, that's the one that that's our issue. That's what we've got to guard against. And you know, the thing that you know, the thing that always is in front of these kids is that consistent voice, consistent message, and it's one. You know, the whole staff has the same message. I don't care what position you play. You know, I've heard Clint Hurt getting after our offensive kids, which is a good thing. You know, we really coach as the whole staff coaches as one.
Well, talk about the running back. You've got some depth there. Has anybody started to separate themselves, and how will that kind of happen in your, you know, I mean, how will somebody
Step out.
step out?
At this juncture, you know, we're so early in. Really pleased with what they've done. They've all come to camp with a great work ethic, which they need, because once you walk through the fence out there, you better come to work, because if you don't, you lose a day, you're going to get left behind. And they all know that. And they all have, I think, if you talk to any four of the guys that are competing, they would tell you the same thing. They know they have to. And that's a good thing for us. When there's competition, that's where you start to really get it, and that goes back to great recruiting. So we've gotten that part done. We're going to have to go through training camp. I've been asked that question. We've asked ourselves that question. We need to get in scrimmage situations, both in full scrimmages and situational scrimmages, and let, you know, the assignment part of football plus the tough running part, the, you know, the character we're looking for, come out. So it'll be during, you know, over the test of time, which will, you know, I would think the first week we're going to know, but as it goes along, when we do know, we're going to say we know. So if someone steps out, we'll go with that person. But I really think the way it's competing right now, the competition is there. The competition is not they're not letting up. They all want to be a starter, which is a good thing.
What does Benavides give you with his experience and his skill level?
He's you know, I've told people this, he's done a remarkable job. I think he's the thump in our voice offensively. You know, if something needs to get fixed, Mario will fix it. He'll fix it. Alex Cupper, he'll fix it. Having two seniors like that has been huge for us, especially with the young offensive lineman we just spoke of, and the rest of the guys on offense here are young. They're the thump, they're the voice. Mario he's exemplified throughout the entire summer a work ethic with those guys. He's got them together and had film studies with them. He's got them together and they've worked extra work. You know, he's held them all accountable. So he's done a great job. You know, he's been hurt throughout his career, and he's had some injuries, and he wants this to be his best year, and you can tell by the way he's conducted his business.
As a coach, you tend to compare yourself to your team last year or even the year before that, and your talent level is obviously up. You've been around elite programs. How is this talent level relative to elite programs?
Well, we, you know, our skill set, we have a lot of speed. We have a lot of speed. And I think the thing that's really unique about this group, they have a unique skill set, but they have great character to go with it. And that's the thing that I'm most excited about, is the character. They come to work every day. Every day they come to work and they compete. They come to work knowing it's a process, and they work their tail ends off. So when things like that start happening, you've got a chance to be really good. Now, everything in front of us, I told them the first night, everything in front of us, we have to earn as a unit, and you have to earn individually. So I think the character part, why I refer to that is because that's the character of this team. They want to earn it. So we've got to go out and prove it, is what I'm saying too. We've got to prove it when it counts. When they light the board up out there, we've got to prove it.
Where would you like to see the most improvement?
Well, sorry.
Oh, okay. Where would you like to see the most improvement?
Well, I just, you know, I would like to see us, you know, offensively, you know, play in rhythm. And playing in rhythm is, we're playing clean football. You know, we're in and out, up and down in the huddle. I mean, we initiate the tempo of the game. We convert drives, stay on the field, and eat up clock. I think that is huge in today's game, and yet at the same time, we can blow an explosion play up anytime. We can make a big play. So I think any offense coach will probably tell you that. That's what your hope is. And we really have a chance to be that kind of unit. We've got to grow to it. We've got to earn it all. And right now, we just have what we have in practice, which is glimpses and flashes, and now we have to go out and we have to prove it.
So talk about the tight end position and how you kind of, Charlie said you want 4 tight ends.
Yeah.
What you guys were comfortable with.
And we'd like to have 4 because, again, we want to be multiple in how we present ourselves to the defense. And the tight end position is something that is one of the spots that we have really worked to grow. We still need to recruit to it. But that 4 tight end position, I think we're really, Nate Nord came through this spring and answered for us. He had a really good spring. He became the player that, I always thought when I first got here, he had a skill set that I said, I'd recruit that guy anywhere I've been. And he started playing to that skill set, to that, what his ability said he could be. Ryan Hubble has been a tremendous addition. He is smart, tough, and dependable, and he's got skills to go along with it. I mean, he and his role in our offense, he does an excellent job, and I'm excited about, what he can bring to the table. And then Chris White, last year we needed a tight end. We needed somebody to step up. We were kind of dire straits, and Whitey came through for us and, started, earned a role. I think his role will increase because, the things we do with him, we ask him to do what his skill set says he can do. He can move and play tight end. And then we're trying to find a 4th guy right now. And Aaron Bowles might be a freshman that we're looking at, and he's got to earn it. I told him down the field, you're getting an opportunity to earn that to earn that in rotation. Now you got to prove to us that you can do it, because if you can't, we'll play with 3. But we'd like to have 4.
So I saw a stat about last year in the 4th quarter games, the running game averaged about 2.1 yards per carry. Was that a byproduct of, as you talked about, the offensive line kind of being experienced before, or was that?
Usually it happens in a lot of those games, without looking at those things game to game. Some of those things might have been, we're trying to run out the clock, 4 minutes, we're trying to eat up the clock. And those are tough yards. In that situation, we want to finish the game on the field. I think the other thing is some of those games we might have been, trying to come behind, we were slinging it around a little bit too. But we have to, I'll tell you that we have to be able to run the football. I don't care where you look at in football. If it's NFL, you look at Division I football, Division I AA, 2, 3, etc. Championships are won by rushing football. And we're going to, that's where we start at. We're going to rush the football, and then, we're going to play great run defense and great special teams. That's what the characteristic of all 3 of those, that's the byproduct is a championship. So it all begins by rushing the football, and I think, with the experience now that we're developing the offensive line, the backs that we have, fullbacks that we're developing, we've got to be better at that, and that's our goal.
Obviously, a lot of expectations for this team pick to win the league. A lot of that hinges on Teddy. How do you think he'll respond to that? How will he handle that?
The strongest attribute Teddy brings to the table is his character. He never gets too high, nor does he get too low. The beautiful thing about Teddy is Teddy never thinks he's too good. Teddy is consistently Teddy, and that means he's humble. And the part that I've always enjoyed most about working with him is his humility, as well as his desire, his hunger to be the best. He wants to be something special, not special to anybody on the team. He just wants to be a quarterback. He wants to be regarded as a great quarterback, and he works hard at it. So, I believe in his character, and that's his strongest attribute. And the thing I think that our team would tell you about Teddy, whether it's offense or defense, they would tell you that about him. His leadership, his credibility is because he's Teddy every day. He goes to work every day. Good. All right. Thanks, guys.